welcome to Straight Talk with Steph. I've got Phil here, Phil Owens, the other half of Belvedere Property Group with Stacey Owens, and he's been kind enough to do a little testimonial for me, but I also really just want to showcase the amazing work that Phil and Stacey are doing. So if you don't mind, Phil, just explaining, so how did you arrive at contacting me? Because I know Stacey's got hair, she met someone at a kid's party, but it was a little bit different for you because you contacted me on Instagram. So could you just talk us through why you ended up messaging me and then why you ended up booking a call with me?
Well, I think I just came across property accidentally, just flicking through socials as you do. Because me and Stacey were always talking about there must be something more to what we're doing now, like just working all the hours of the day, getting as much money as we can to help the family. And I just stumbled across property and I just got talking to Stacey about it. And as she said earlier, she went to a kid's party, all the mums and dads started talking about property, and she said, oh my God, me and Phil have been talking about it, you know, but we don't know how to get into it. And one of your friends, Kaz, is it?
Yeah, we did teacher training.
Yeah, she said, my friend Steph, she eats, sleeps, breathes property. If you want to know anything about it, contact Steph. So I thought, I'll go and have a little look on the socials. I had a little look. Could tell you were a genuine person. So I thought, you know what, I'll message you.
So what made you book a call then?
Yeah, I just thought you were a really friendly person. You sounded like really genuine. There was lots of like property gurus out there, and I just got the feeling that they were just out to take your money.
Yeah.
And you were just a salesperson basically, but I didn't get that from you. So I decided to message you, and then obviously me and Stacey had the Zoom with you. And I think after talking to you, I came across really genuine, and Stacey took to it as well. So we decided to invest in ourselves with you and go for the training.
It's always nice to work with people who recognise that in me, so I am grateful that you chose me, because there are people out there, there are big property gurus, education companies, and yeah, they probably charge a lot more than I do. They may have done more in property than what I've done, but you know, I'm not a salesy person. I don't think I am anyway. I try not to be too salesy. I just try and be myself, and I don't like putting pressure on people, because the decision to invest in yourselves to then buy property, it's a big decision. It's still it's not a massive financial commitment, but to invest in yourself, it's a big decision. So thank you for choosing me. I really appreciate it.
We did feel that though, the pressure wise, we didn't feel like we were pressured into anything.
Yeah.
Whereas other people, they just want to take you on and take your money, and that's it. That's their job done. But I think meeting you, and it was also important for you to meet us to see if you wanted to work with us. So you could have said yes or no, and we had obviously had a bit of a connection. So you were happy to work with us, which was really good.
Because I don't actually work with everybody.
No.
Because you don't always get on with everybody, and I think that's life, that's human beings. You're not always going to click with everyone or have like an affinity with everybody. But I feel like, and I'm really glad actually that we all decided to work together, because now like the four of us are friends as well, which is lovely. And I just think some people might say that's a bit of a crossing a boundary from sort of like coach mentor into friendship. But I think we've got really good boundaries with that anyway. And as I say, we've gained some friends. So it's been a massive win for Phil and I as well. So what sort of stages then do you think you've gone through from the very beginning, when you were just embarking on the very basics of property with me, the property course I was going through with you, to sort of now? What's been the sort of mentality that you've gone through from the beginning to now? Have you seen any like mindset shifts? Have you had any like challenges?
I think it's a lot to do with mindset. You've got to be in the right mindset to do it, because when I first looked into property, I just thought it was something that the rich people did.
Yeah.
They had all the money to do whatever they wanted. And I think you've showed us that anyone can do it with the right education, and as long as they're willing to put the work in, because it's not easy. If you're willing to put the work in and educate yourself, then it's possible.
How have you found them working with Stacey as your wife, having to shift from being because it's mad, because Phil and I went through the same thing and we still struggle a little bit now. It's like going from being a couple and a mum and dad to business partners. Like, have you found different roles? How have you have you got jobs that you do that Stacey doesn't do, and how have you settled into that, and how does it work?
Yeah, well, Stacey with the job that Stacey does, working in sales, she's used to speaking to numerous different people day in, day out, where I'm not. So she's more front of house and she's really good at what she does. So I'm like more in the background doing things like business plans, newsletters, stuff like that. And I'm happy doing that, and I'm really happy for Stacey to take a front seat and be the face of the Belvedere Property Group, because I think she does a really good job.
She does, and you've both got your individual strengths. So, like, but even you being here today on camera, that's like new as well for you.
Yeah.
But I also think that what I've seen in both of you is that you've both constantly pushed yourselves, pushed and pushed and pushed. You might have gotten to points where maybe, I don't know, there's been challenges, because you always have, everyone has challenges as a couple working in business together. It can be like a mindset thing,
Yeah.
it can be a money thing. I mean, have you had any blockers when it's come to
Money is,
property?
yeah, money's a massive blocker,
Okay.
because obviously, luckily we had a little bit of our own money to get us going, but
Yeah.
obviously at a certain point you're going to get to the point where you need more.
Yeah.
And talking about private investment and stuff like that, I think a big blocker for us was we felt like we were asking for a handout, we were asking for people for money, but really you've shown us that we're giving them opportunities to make money.
Yeah.
Their monies could just be sitting there doing nothing, where they could be using that money to make more money. We're giving them an opportunity, they're not giving us a handout basically. I think that was a big massive blocker for us, the money thing. Well, I think you've helped us realise to look at it a different way and to just see friends and family, we're giving them opportunities to get involved as well.
It's a mad mindset shift, isn't it, when you are like going into property and you start talking about money. And you know, I can talk about money in a really like casual way, like I'm just like, oh yeah, we only need like 50 grand, or oh yeah, let's just raise like another 80. And I never ever really used to have that mindset. But you've just raised your first 10 grand from a private investor, someone who I know had a bit of savings in the bank.
Yeah.
So you've obviously overcome some sort of blockers there.
Yeah, the blockers, yeah.
How does it feel though, being able to raise your first 10k?
Amazing. I never thought we'd be able to do it, but with your help we have, and we've just done what you've told us to do, and it's worked.
I'm really bossy though, Phil.
Yeah, well, that's what we need sometimes. I'm talking about like working in a couple as well. You know, if you're on your own, it's a lot harder, because as you said, you face a lot of blockers, whereas if you can kind of bounce off each other, you can give each other support, which is a big thing, I think, working together as a couple.
It can be really hard for some people to find those like boundaries. So when Phil and I first started, it was like, well, how do we find the boundary between like we're a couple, but then we're business partners, and the two were sort of like crossing into each other, and we found that we weren't actually being a couple, we weren't spending time as a couple. It was all business. It was a lot of sacrifice. But I think the fact that you guys are a mum and dad as well, you're doing this for your family, it almost like, because you've got kids, it forces that balance for you.
Yeah.
Do Poppy and Oliver know what you're doing?
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
They do, and yeah, we're trying to get them involved as much as we can. I mean, Oliver's a little bit young, he's only 5, but he knows what we're doing.
Yeah.
And we've took him on viewings with us before. He's been in a new house to see what work's going on.
Yeah.
And Poppy is a little bit older, so she kind of understands what we're doing, and hopefully what we're doing now, we can pass on to Poppy and show what's possible. So there's no reason why she might not be able to follow in our footsteps and do a similar thing.
So why are you doing a property then? I know you said there's got to be more to it, but how does that tie into your kids?
Well, it's to give us and them a better future, basically, more time together. Whereas, because at the moment, well, before property, it was just work all the time. With no like work, we want a better work-life balance, basically.
Yeah.
To get more time with each other, and hopefully, if Poppy follows in our footsteps when she's older with her kids, she will be able to have more time to spend with her family as well.
You'll pass that on. It's like, it's not just passing on a legacy in terms of passing on a property. It's the knowledge that comes with that as well. Brilliant. So talk to me a little bit about this first deal. So from the moment you found it to the moment you got the keys.
Yeah, so we found this property in Trentham Road. We'd been doing a couple of viewings in the area. Obviously done our research in the area. We knew it was a good rental area. It was in high demand for rental. So we went for the viewing and we quite liked it. And then we spoke to you about it, because we got back to the estate agent and said, yeah, we're really interested. And they were like, oh, sorry, there's already an offer on it. So we told you, and you were like, get back on the phone and tell them
Yeah.
we're interested.
That's right, because weren't they already going through with the process, or there was something wrong with someone else had an offer accepted, but it was delayed? Or...
Yeah, I think they had trouble getting a mortgage on it.
Right. Which is no surprise.
Yeah, it was because it was in such a bad way. Basically, lenders wouldn't lend, they wouldn't offer a mortgage on it.
Yeah.
So you said, get back on the phone, tell them you're going to make a cash offer.
Yeah.
We're 100% interested. If you want to go, we're ready to go now. And that's what we did. And we ended up getting offer accepted. And I think if you wouldn't have told us to get back on the phone and say we want it, we would have just left it and we wouldn't be where we are now, basically.
It's about pushing forward. So I knew the numbers on that property were spot on, and I remember saying, if you don't have it, I will, because it's that good a deal. You've got it way below market value. So John is just purchase price, refurb, and done up value. Phil, what's that? What we're looking at?
Yeah, so we purchased it for 65. The done up value will be 115 to 120.
Yeah.
And we're going to spend around 20k on the refurb.
Brilliant. And if any, with any luck, you'll probably spend a bit less than that, won't you?
Hopefully, we've set ourselves 20 grand. Hopefully we'll stay below.
Yeah, you definitely will.
Yeah.
And rent-wise, what are you looking at?
Well, originally when we did the spreadsheets, we were looking at 650. But recently we've been looking more at the rental market in that area. And we're looking more around 695, 700 now as well. So from when we were first looking, it's already gone up like an extra 50 quid a month. So
brilliant. And how much are you going to be cash flowing net?
It's over £300 a month. Yeah.
So the thing is as well, so you put that work in up front, 300 quid. Some people might say, oh my God, it's only 300 quid. But do you know what? Every month that money's, you've got a property that's spot on.
Yeah.
It's safe. It's modern. It's a fully refurbished, so there should be no issues with it whatsoever. You know that's going to rent. I think it was about 350. I think, wasn't it, net maybe a month. You know that money's going to come in every month then, and that's pure profit.
Yeah, and we're not going to touch it.
No,
for as long as we can. We're just going to let it build up.
Yeah.
We're just going to pretend it's not there. And as well as that rental income building up, also the property is going to be increasing in value as well. So that's just like a future-proofing ourselves, We know we've got a guaranteed return on our money there, letting it work for us.
Brilliant. And that's the thing, it's about whilst we all want more cash flow because we want to get out of our jobs, we want the time with our families, and that's what money can buy us, is that time. It's about going, but actually we've also got another strategy going on here, and you're buying on the Wirral as well, which is particularly good. Like the value of properties on the Wirral has gone up exponentially in the past sort of 5 years. It's going to continue to go up. What's going on in the Wirral at the moment? I think you mentioned this in your business plan. Yeah,
there's a massive regeneration project going on at the minute, all around Wallasey Docklands, Wirral Waters project.
Yeah.
So, and that's like right round the corner from where our first property is, so we're like smack bang in the middle of it. Yeah. So it's only going to be a good thing for us and the value of our property going up in the future.
100%. I'm so proud of the pair of you, by the way. Like, I think you've done amazing. And I want to say a massive thank you for trusting me with your education, your coaching, your mentoring, letting me boss you around and paying me for it as well.
Well, it's good that you do boss us around and tell us what to do, because we've just followed every bit of your advice and it's got us to where we are now.
Yeah, there's no reason why it wouldn't have done either. You're both very coachable. If you were to say a couple of things, I know we haven't got long left now, but if anyone was thinking about getting into property, what would you advise them to do?
I just probably, a lot of people say this, is you just got to educate yourself and get the right person as well to educate you, which me and Stacey have definitely found that in you, so that's the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's not just about, if you want to get into property and you want to buy houses and rent them out, it's not just about that, it's about finding out the right type of house in the right area. And obviously the mentorship from you has taught us how to do that.
Yeah, strategy area property, brilliant. And it's been an absolute pleasure spending time with you, seeing you flourish, thrive, grow, seeing your blockers, seeing you overcome them, and just absolutely smashing it, because you know that you can do it. There's no reason why you couldn't. So, well.
I just want to say one more thing. I think it's so important to have a coach like you as well, because it's not an easy thing to do. Getting into property is difficult, and I think the easiest thing to do sometimes is, when you hit a problem, is just to give up. Yeah. But you've just pushed us on and made sure we didn't. I just want to thank you for that.